Wanda is considered one of the most passionate and positive people you'll ever meet, both personally and professionally. Her inspirational mentoring, sales, and customer service training has dubbed her to be Wanda D. Hollis, the Motivational Queen. She launched Wanda D TV, a revolutionary online real estate talk show where local businesses and community leaders discuss their services, issues, and concerns. Wanda is passionate about helping people achieve their goals and dreams. She has gone on to pursue many passions, including her I Am Enough talk show, having a seat on the West Georgia Board of Realtors, author of inspirational and motivational books, and also a strong supporter of several nonprofit organizations within her community. Wanda believes that there's no such thing as bad decisions, only regrets of not making the right attempt. For speaking engagements or to book her for your next event or conference, please visit www.iamenough365.com.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Demetria Winters, and I am an Army vet, a nurse, and an entrepreneur. And recently, I became an author with Wake Up Winning, No Matter What, Volume 2, Losing is Not an Option. And I came to talk to you today because we are coming up on 10/10, which is World Mental Health Day. So I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about mental health, especially in the community, because we have a high disparity within that realm, just like we do with a lot of other things. And I want to make sure that I'm part of the solution instead of the problem, so that we can do more to help ourselves become well. So when it comes to mental health, we need to think of it like we do everything else. It's not something that should take over your life, but it's still important to recognize it. It's still important to address it. And unfortunately, one of the habits that people have is when they feel uncomfortable with something, then they try to ignore it as if it will disappear. And it's already been proven through studies that the sooner you address mental health issues, then the more likely you will have a better outcome. 10/10's theme for this year in 2020 is to invest. And one of the reasons they want us to invest is because mental health issues affect everybody across the board. Unlike people, mental health issues don't discriminate. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter your age or anything like that. Anybody could be affected because our bodies are naturally able to compensate and cope with stress that's temporary and short term. But when it comes to something that lingers in long term, then it can have a physical and mental effect on how you live your life, your quality of life. And so we want to make sure that we invest in more ways than one. It's not just a one-dimensional thing. When it comes to our mental health, we need to invest our time, our effort, our understanding, and yes, economically. We all need to be advocates and make sure that our officials in office address these problems that we're having amongst families who are dealing with mental health issues. Sometimes we don't recognize what's going on, but we know something's wrong. So we need to get educated. We need to get educated, and we need to not be afraid to claim it. Because just because you claim it and you speak it doesn't mean that it rules your life or your world. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of a diagnosis for your family, your friend, any other loved one, or yourself. Just walk in your truth and try to find solutions to do better. I'm actually speaking not just from a clinical point of view, because I am a nurse who's worked in women's services for 20 years. But I also a person who was diagnosed with major depression. And I say that my time of rebirth was in 2012. That is when I found out about my mental illness and decided that I wanted to learn more about what was going on with me and why it was happening. And the more I learned, the more I realized I had problems for many more years than I realized. And if people thought that there was anything off or odd about me, they didn't speak it, or they spoke it in derogatory terms. So maybe they put me down for the way I said something, or, people call names and they laugh and they joke and they think it's funny. And sometimes it's more serious than you realize. What some people didn't realize is I actually am a survivor of childhood trauma, molestation, as well as I grew up in a household with an abusive stepfather who harmed my mother, and he harmed her emotionally, mentally, and physically, and harmed us emotionally and mentally. And there were, of course, other things in my life that affected who I was. But just because I went through those things, and just because I now have a diagnosis, doesn't mean that I can't live my life in a positive and productive manner. That doesn't stop at all. And you can do it. All you have to do is make sure that you have different things that you control. I know a lot of people don't want to go to a doctor. They don't want to get medicated. Sometimes you don't have to get medicated, but you still want to get an expert opinion about the steps you can take. But just because you do that doesn't mean that they are controlling your life. You are still in control of your life. You call the shots. Take ownership. That is so important for the way you live, your quality of life, as I mentioned before. I'm going to go over a few things that I wrote down that I hope will motivate you in taking a step to take better care of yourself, invest in you. And one of the things I want to say to you is you want to be mindful of who you are. Take a time to self-reflect, and then you will be able to take better care of yourself. Awareness is key. And I don't mean the superficial stuff that everybody else sees, because a lot of times, a lot of us are putting on a mask. We're acting. We are doing things to make other people comfortable instead of truly being ourselves. I mean, who are you really? Who are you from childhood? What are your experiences? What are your life experiences? What things make you angry? In the mental health field, they talk about triggers. Triggers are things that make you behave a certain way, not necessarily consciously, but based on your subconscious automatic kind of go-to when something upsets you, overwhelms you, angers you. And know yourself and know what those things are. It's made a big difference in my life. Also, you want to just take someone, you don't want to just take someone else's idea of what self-care looks like, because you're unique. It doesn't matter if they have similar experiences. How you intook information in every little experience, every part of your DNA is special. You have a personal blueprint. It's just like a fingerprint. Nobody on this earth has the same fingerprint as you. So someone else's plan, although it could be a little bit of a guideline, it really has to be really personal when you make your plan. Lastly, I want to say to you that how your spirit and your thought process work cannot be duplicated. It can't be duplicated. I don't even care if they're twins and they're identical. As we've seen before, some twins have totally different outlooks on life, totally different personalities. So pay attention to yourself, invest in all of you. Invest in your goals, invest in your dreams, invest in your health, invest in your mind. And everybody's investment in their mind is not necessarily the same as someone else's. So that is my motivational tip for you today. For the most part, is invest, invest, invest. And I promise you, things will get better. Things will get more manageable. But it takes for you to figure out what it is you want for you and how you want to live your life. And it's okay to make sure that you have support people. And not everybody's going to understand, but find your tribe. I saw a meme and I think it's perfect. You're finding your tribe basically depends on your vibe. If you have any questions, if you want to talk to me further, you can reach me at www.bbqlifecoach.com. That is my website. I am a life coach who wants to help you with your best life plan and get you on track, especially Black women like myself, since I can relate, of course. So I want to leave you with this. Your transformation can actually be your path to purpose. I want you to have a good day and take care.